Hello. I am so sleepy. I got up not that long ago, but I'm so excited to be drawing a new character today. I have a small comic project that I've been thinking of finishing for a while. I have all the storyboards, most of the text written in the document, but I have no designs because this is something I started when I was still in school a million years ago, and since then I have improved very much. So I want to redo these designs, and today I'm gonna do the main character, and we'll see what I come up with. I don't have a very specific idea of what I want to do. I'm thinking of basing it on what I already had, but I'm not sure it's unique enough. So we'll see. I have all my little references here that are not organized because I'm not sure how I want to, what exactly I want to use and what I don't want to use. There's a bunch of them. So yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna make my screen a little brighter, because for once it looks like there might be one ray of sunshine today, maybe two if we're very lucky. It's been so gray, dark, and cold all the time, which is starting to be really annoying. One of my friends calls me a plant. I need sunlight to live, and that is very true. And it's been so long since we've had a day of sunshine and not just 5 minutes. But yeah, hopefully today is that day. Oh, that's shitty quality. For most of her aesthetic, her name is Amandine, which is based on the word for an almond in French. And her grandmother is named Violet, and she's also very important in the story. But for her, I want to have a very soft but colorful aesthetic, kind of like what I had for Lucy in the beginning in More Than One Lifetime, but then it kind of spiraled. I got lost in other designs that I thought were cooler. So yeah, for her I want something really colorful, fun, and since she works, she's in pastry school, I think it's called in English, so she has to wear a uniform when she goes to work, which has not a lot of personality. I have one, a cooking uniform. Well, I have only the top because I didn't need the bottom and it was sold already anyway. I got it secondhand because I'm not gonna buy a brand new uniform. It was for a painting class, which we were doing a lot of work with acrylics, and I did not want to stain any of my regular clothes. And while I trust myself with that, I did not trust all of my classmates, because, I mean, it's a painting class, there's gonna be shit that happens. So I got a cooking uniform in purple, and it's so pretty. It's so nice. I just don't really have a lot of opportunities to use it because, well, it's a cooking uniform. I mean, I don't wear it to cook at my house. Although maybe I could. So I'm thinking of giving her one in a fun color. The one I have is this sort of design with like the front that has buttons, and there's also buttons on the sleeves, and I don't have the little skirt style thing. This part, I don't have that, and I don't know if I want to give her that or just pants, because I think pants are just more comfortable, and I'm sure there's a use for this, an apron style basically. I'm sure there's a reason they have that, but I don't know what that reason is. I'm working in my, oh, you can see the title, but this file is called sketches, and it's basically my file for everything. I have folders per month where I put just random doodles, things I'm doing just for fun, and then I have other folders for projects, because I don't like having a document per project. That's too many to keep open, especially when I'm just like doodling in something, suddenly I get an idea for something. It's just more practical to have it all together, so usually that's what I do. For this comic, I don't really have any style references. I think I just want to do something within my comfort zone. It's not very long, it's not very... I don't want it to be very ambitious in terms of style. The story is the focus really for this one. And since it's going to be in color, I want to do... My coloring technique is going to be this. Base color. Shading. That's it. It's done. Nothing else. Because I know that if I spend more time on it than that, it's going to take me way too long. And there's quite a lot of backgrounds in it too, so if I have to color the characters and the backgrounds and everything, it's going to take me way too long if I do like something a little fancy. Okay, it was saving. It was taking a while. I don't want anything to crash or like to suddenly disappear and lose a bunch of data. I have a program called Boink running on my computer. It runs calculations basically for scientists. And I stopped the entire thing while I stream because I'm scared it's going to be too much for my computer. But it means my stats are gonna be smaller than usual. I've been running it for over a year, and since I work on my computer pretty much all day every day, it's been running a lot, and I'm in a very high percentage of users, which is fun. Lots of calculations being run. My main project is for asteroids. It's to find, I think it's to find new ones, like trajectories and shit. which I find very interesting, but has entirely too much math for me to know anything about. And they have published results, and I looked at like the article they wrote about it, and there was so much stuff I just could not understand. Probably not helped by the fact that it was written in, I think, Polish, and then just translated by like Google. So yeah, that didn't help, but a lot of the things I didn't understand anyway. Alright, basic simple shape. Very basic though. I know that I want her to have long hair, which I don't do very often, but I want to do more. A lot of my characters have like this length of hair, and I want it to be longer. Let's see. Oops. I was thinking, I've seen a creator have this style of bangs. I don't know what they're called. Like the anime style bangs. And I think they're so cute. Oh, they need to be straight at the top though. So I think something like this could be really cute. However, for school, she would probably have to tie it all up and either look like an idiot with like a little thing like this and then little clips here, and then the rest of her hair tied normally, which I think would be funny but stupid looking. Or like braided maybe? I don't know if it's long enough. Well, my hair is a little longer than this and it braids just fine, but I usually don't do bangs like this on myself because my hair curls and it's just annoying. Do we add another layer here? Oh, it could be cute. Okay, another layer. 3 layers of hair. So yeah, that was my main design thing. I think in the original version she just had like Alexa's haircut, like this. Nothing special about it, but I think that's a little boring, and Alexa already has it, so. One thing I think is really fun is people who had curtain bangs at some point and then they grew a lot longer, but you can still see the layer different from the rest. That's also a lot easier to tie up when working. And if we're going with a more usual thing for me, I just give her something like this. I don't know how you call it in English. Again, easy to tie up and all that. For once, I'm going to name my layers which I should do more, but in shared files, it's all clean and organized and named really well. In this one, the folders are all named. The layers, not so much. I'm gonna take inspiration from this one. I like giving my characters pants that are a little short, like their size, but just not long, because it gives you more space to draw fun shoes. In real life, it's my nightmare though, because this part of my leg gets really cold, and I don't want it to. One thing I like giving my characters when I give them shirts is this little detail, the little edge of the sleeves, because it's an easy way to add color, like for this shirt for example, without adding too much work, because drawing a design is really annoying, especially when they're not just facing the camera. It adds a lot of work, the perspective of it. But this kind of detail is really easy and quick to add. Should have done that before. I think this looks nice. I like it. She needs pockets though. For the uniform, which she's going to be wearing a bunch. My dad used to work in a kitchen at a medical center. When they closed, he moved to a really different place, and I just could not go ever because it was next to my middle school before, so I could walk there quite easily if I ever needed to. And they had like white uniforms, which I thought was very cool. I don't know what they had in the second one, but recently a friend of his gave him a spare apron that they had, and it's also white. It looks really nice, but it's way too big for me. Like, I can't wear that even if it's more practical. For the pants, I don't know if they would have a cuff at the bottom, but I don't think they would. I think I just want it to be really simple, straight pants like this. Just maybe in a fun color. Or maybe not. Do they exist in yellow? It's a good question. Yellow is kind of my favorite color. Fashion uniform yellow. What does Google say? It does. Oh, it's really ugly yellow though. It's like this yellow instead of the one I would want, which is this. In case you couldn't tell from my layout, I like yellow. That's the thing then. They usually have black accents, which is pretty cool. Well, I'll do a test. I don't know if it's going to look nice with the rest of everything. If I do give her a yellow uniform, I should probably go to more vibrant colors rather than pastels. So more this one rather than this. Which could work just as well. And I think for shoes they have like work shoes that are boring and ugly. I'm just gonna make them like this. And I'll look up a specific reference later. What's another outfit she would wear often? I like this kinds of jeans. They're really high-waisted. I think they're fun. And usually they have real pockets instead of fake ones. So she could have that. If I'm going to the more colorful route, I think it would be fun to have this shape. I hate these kinds of jeans. I never wear them. Well, to be fair, I have one pair of jeans that I wear at all, so I'm not the best example when it comes to that. I just want my pants to have pockets, and many of them don't. And I think a sweater with this would be better. A fairly simple one. For some reason, this is one of the basic piece of clothing that's the hardest to find. They all have either ugly designs or terrible materials. And since I get most of my clothing secondhand, I don't want to spend hours looking through Vinted for it, but I still do. Do we give it stripes? No. And I'm gonna give her one of these really tight boots sort of things that are like this high. In a neutral color, probably a brown. For colors, I have the yellow here already. It is very bright. I don't even know if they would accept this in school, or if they'd be like white or nothing. I could probably look it up, but it's less fun. It's cute. It needs to be darker. Usually I would probably do a lot more variations, but since this is such a short project, I can just do a version I like and go with that. For the jeans, I want them to be quite dark. Ooh, nice. Coloring within the lines. It should not be this difficult. And for the top, some sort of red. No. Better. For this one, I'm thinking of using a pen for line art that has like no pressure, no nothing. Kind of. Do I have it anywhere? This one? No. Sort of like this, but nicer. This one is the basic felt pen. I think it would be better for coloring. Okay. And for this one, that's more casual. A white-ish shirt. Okay, for the pants, I'm not sure. Most of this style of pants is like gray or black. Dark gray maybe would work. There's a bit of purple in this as well. And because I'm meat, she gets some socks. I'm sorry to everyone who can live without socks, but I cannot. Or with white details. For the needs of the story, I think she needs an outfit with a jacket as well, which we're gonna base on this one. Oops. I want to give her the same pants, but some of it is going to be covered. Probably a short jacket with this. Ooh, a jeans one. Yes, very good. If you spied my little Pinterest and have any advice on how to make my recommendations better, I would love it. For some reason, a few months ago, the entire algorithm of my account said, "You are now a TikTok girly. You like fashion, healthy recipes, and inspiring quotes, and nothing else. And we will show you nothing else." And it's been like a year. And it's boring. And I never pin any of that, but for some reason it just doesn't change. And I've heard of people having the same problem before, but apparently it fixed itself within like a few days or a few hours. But mine just stays like that. And in a way I can still use it, like I can still pin things from searches and all that, but I don't have any fun recommendations if I don't look for something. Which is kind of sad because I used to find a lot of new artists that way. And I just reverse search the image and go stalk their social media. No, that's gonna be too annoying to draw. Okay, that's the outside outfit. There's also her apartment that I have to do. In the original way I planned to do this, I built it in The Sims. And then I took a million screenshots, but I still have them, but the angle of most of them just, it looks like The Sims, because it is, and not like what I want. So I can use them as reference for like the layout and everything, but I can't just draw on top. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use them or if I'm gonna remake a new one. Oh, that's a good color. I think I made it fairly basic as well, which would make sense. She's a student, she probably doesn't have an apartment that she's going to keep for ages or anything. But even if it makes sense, it's a lot less fun. Because I want her to have an interesting place. So what? I don't need to explain it. I just like my characters to have like money for some reason. You don't need to know why. It doesn't have to be relevant to the story. But they have like insane amount of money that allows them to have the coolest apartments ever. Like decorated really nicely. The only thing I don't give them is like a bunch of art prints and things to put on the walls, because then I have to draw these things a million times. And it's a lot more efficient to just give them one big painting or one big mirror. Okay, I think we're really going to go with this haircut because I like it the best out of all of them. And the rest of it is good like it is. First, I have duplicates of everything. Okay. I'm going to do a basic turn later, which is why I'm making space for the poses. Let's make this more efficient, actually. Okay. Wrong one. Okay, yes. This is the outfits folder. And it's missing this one. Yes, it is this one. Okay. Okay. 4 outfits, pretty good. For her hair, I'm thinking something quite dark like this. This looks dyed, but that's fine. I haven't dyed my hair in so long. And the skin color. Yeah, that works. Okay, that's the first part done. I'm gonna take a break, go get some water, some coffee, and then after the break, I'll be doing a more detailed design with her face, clean lines, and the start of the turnaround. Alright. I have coffee. I have water. I don't have tea that I will forget today, which is for the best. And I'm going to make this a more detailed design. I think I'm going to remove the color entirely. Yeah, okay. And I'm also going to use a different pen. No. I have a million brushes in Clip Studio. Like way too many. And I really should just sort them someday. Like go through everything, test everything. But it takes so long, I don't want to. Oof. I could do some cool stuff with this, just not this. All of these are like good for painting, but not really what I need right now. Oh. That's weird. I have one I really like, but I made it on my iPad, so I'm not sure it exists in here. That's the original rough pencil that I modified to make my favorite sketching brush. No, that's a line pen. Okay, that one's good. I want her to have a really round face. Kind of like I gave Billy. Her ears we're not gonna see, really. Until she has her hair tied. But even then, I don't know how much is going to happen. I'm also making this a fairly simple design. Actually, I should make this mirrored. Because I want to do some animation with her, just little things. Oh. I think it was saving the recovery file. Okay. Yeah, I want to do some simple animations with her. Just little things, little loops. Since a lot of her story is based on food, I want this to be food themed things. Oh no. I always forget to change the eraser when using the symmetry tool. since she does mostly pastry, I wanted her to do like a short loop where she's decorating a cake, like a cupcake, which is like this, and she's doing the cream on top, the swirl, I think you call it. And then either moving to another cupcake on the side or taking it off and starting over. You can't hear it, but my watch just buzzed, basically telling me, oh, you need to get up and walk around, you've been sitting for too long, like I just did 5 minutes ago. But it doesn't always register for some reason. I'll have to pick a color for those, but that's fine. Alright. I like it like that. Number 1. Ooh, a little ray of sunshine. Interesting. How long will it last? Is it going to find what I'm looking for? Yes. This kind of design, probably. Or these. They look simple, which is mostly what I want for this. How many did I give her? 4. All right. This one and last one is the jacket one. That's all the outfits. And now I really need to find what I'm gonna do line art with. I'm thinking I have this one pen that I could probably change a little bit. This one has more texture, which is nice as well. It has a lot less pressure sensitivity, unless I really push on my pen, but this isn't comfortable to draw at. This is what the line weight would be using it normally, and that's size 20. Maybe smaller. This is good actually. I'm just gonna duplicate it and I'm going to name it Baking Line. Okay. I don't have a name, a title yet for this comic that I'm working on. And I have 0 ideas. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Which is annoying because in all my projects, all my files, everything is just called baking comic. And it's not even really about baking. It's about loss. So I think it was originally for a contest, but I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. Alright, now why did my model change outfits? When does this happen? I never see it, but it changes on its own sometimes. Because usually it's wearing this one, which is 1. I'm guessing this is 2? No, not even. This is number 2. And this is number 3. But when did I click the 3? There's a bunch more as well. 4 does nothing. 5 does nothing. 6. What changes for these is the earring, because I drew my 2 favorite pairs. This one is a little sword. I used to wear it all the time, but since right now I'm wearing headphones most of the time, it's just not very comfortable. And this one is the little planet. I love my little planet. It is so cute. It's a pair that's not symmetrical. I love them so much. I looked at them on Etsy for like a week straight, every day, multiple times a day. Then I was like, I need them. I cannot live my life without them. The problem is that the outfits for the models are keyed to 1, 2, 3, 4 to 8. And when I'm in Clip Studio and I rotate my canvas, it's 1 to put it back to normal. And it affects both at the same time. So if I do this, change the outfit, and then I reset, it goes back to the first outfit. I need to change this. I don't like that it changes without me noticing. It's annoying. But yeah, if it changes randomly, it's not because I actually want it to change. It's just that I'm not noticing what keys I'm pressing. Right, we have a much cleaner sketch. We have picked a line art pen, and now I need to actually do the line art for this. No, that's her face. She needs to keep her face. That one was the original. I'm going to do it with a vector layer, because if I do this, it's fantastic. It's so practical. I haven't been using it for the current comic because the line art I use is like this, and then here it looks odd. It doesn't look like I would want it to look. If I erase this myself, well, I put more pressure on it, but I would erase it like this. No. being an idiot. Like this. And so it doesn't look the same. So I've been doing it all in normal layers, on regular ones. And it works, it's just a little longer to erase sometimes. And for this one, since I can use a line art layer, I will. A vector layer, line art layer. I only use them for line art though, so. I don't mind my line art to be a little scratchy. I think it can look fun, especially since this is going to be mostly flat colors. It doesn't really, like the shading is not going to be very intense. It doesn't need to be super duper clean. For the Ghost Hunting Club, I'm really specific about line art. It is my favorite part, but it does mean that I spend a lot of time on it. The coloring takes me the most time, but that's because I decided to do it with the brush with the pressure, which looks cool, but is not doing anything for time. It just takes me so long. But I am not willing to sacrifice the style to make it go faster. I've thought about it several times. It just looks cool like it is. pretty cute. For the freckles, I'm gonna put them on their own layer, just so I can put the color directly onto them without having to color carefully around the rest of the lines. Oops. That was the cover, the case for my typewriter. The typewriter is not inside, so it's fine. I'm gonna start naming my layers. Okay, outfit number 1. One thing I want to do probably next week is design some new outfits for the ghost hunting club, because so far they've been wearing kind of the same thing all the time, especially Mari. It makes sense for her to wear the same thing for now, but later I want her to have a more interesting style as she becomes more confident and as a bunch of things happen in the story. But I don't really have any specific plans, and I think it would be interesting to do it now, so I have the start and the end point for what her style is going through, and it's easier to transition from one to the next. Because for now she's been, well, obviously she's been wearing the same thing. They've been at school for like a few months. They've been doing their thing. She's in her 2nd year, so she's not bringing anything new from the holidays. But with the things that are gonna happen through the club, I think she's going to have a big change between the beginning and the end of the year, and I want that to be reflected in her clothes. I just don't know if I want it to happen only through the 1st year, or if I want to also include the 2nd year. Because Mari's a 2nd year, but Billy's a 1st year. So I decided that Mari would do 3 years, because she's in economics, and in France you can get a degree in 3 years in economics. But Billy is in both astrophysics and chemistry, which is a lot more classes, but also a lot more things, and I wanted to do 5 years at least. Maybe more, but I'm not sure. It would be interesting. I'm not gonna show the whole thing anyway, but I don't know if I want her to do more. Realistically, she would have to. But this is fiction, and I do what I want. Billy's style is not going to change a lot unless I get her started on like work things, and then she would need different clothes. Because if she works in a lab, she can't just be in a skirt. There's safety standards. But for the rest of it, she still needs her cool clothes. Alright. For the... How is this tied? Okay, that's outfit number 1. Wait, I need to name this. Inside. This one is going to be the school one. That's the school outfit. This one is the casual outfit. I'm very excited to do a lineup of all of them. Oh, better. Okay, and we're going to duplicate it. So I can do the outside outfit. For the texture of the jacket, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do it. I want it to be consistent throughout the panels, but without taking too much time. So I wonder if I could do it with like a specific brush or an effect or something. I don't usually add texture to clothes like that, but for a jeans jacket, it's kind of necessary. It's probably going to be something I do all at once at the end though. Because it's for an extra I'm making for More Than One Lifetime for Valentine's. I've been doing the color per page instead of per panel. So I've been doing like all the skin colors for an entire page and then all the hair color for an entire page. And it's actually pretty efficient. So I'm thinking of doing the same for this once I have all the panels, everything is drawn, everything is ready. If I do the jacket last, I can have a pretty consistent rendering of it when it comes to the weathering of it. If I just do it all at once. It's much easier than to find a brush or a technique or something and then have to do it several times. Does it not have... I might add a little more here. I think it looks weird. Yeah, I'm gonna add a little border. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's the jacket done. That's the last outfit, I think. That's the guideline. Is it nothing else? Doesn't seem to be anything else. Weird. An empty layer. Hi, welcome. I'm doing a design for a character for a new webcomic I'm working on. Earlier today I did all the sketching, including several outfits, and now I'm doing clean line art for references. And if I have time, which I probably will because I'm streaming for another hour, I will do a turnaround, which I'm not too confident about, but we'll see. Okay, that's never going to fit. I'm gonna need a new file, I think. We're going to make it 2000 pixels tall and 6000 long. Yeah, that's better. Okay. It does need a background that doesn't fry everyone's eyes. Oh, glad I looked interesting. I hope it's what you expected. Oh. We're gonna call this one lineup, even though it's not really a lineup. I am, thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. I got sunshine today, which I haven't seen in several days. So I am living. Why is it? Okay, no, it's good. Oops. How many of them do I have? I have the school outfit, I have the casual one, outside and inside. Wonderful naming convention, very creative. Outside one. Casual. Yeah, it's better to stay in bed when you don't feel all that great. It makes the day better. Also, I'm curious what you draw. Or craft, if maybe you're not someone who draws, but someone who makes things. School is here. Is that a line? It looks like it. And last one inside. I forgot the freckles. Oh, shit. Well, whatever. Ooh, drawing your friends' OCs. That's so exciting. You don't have to draw often, as long as you have fun when you do draw. Oh. I keep forgetting my options. Most of my friends don't have characters, but if they did, I'd be drawing them more. We're a little group where we all have a little Sona. So we draw like interactions with each other, which is cute as well, but it's not the same because we don't have like swords or stuff like that, which would be way more fun. Do I give her blush the typical way? Probably. Yeah, motivation to draw can be something really, really hard to find. But I think if you don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to make something like good or interesting or whatever, if you just make little doodles, it can be easier to get back into it. For the coloring, I have layers that are vectors. So the line art is a special type of layer, and then I have a bucket tool that follows that layer, so it automatically knows where I have like edges of my lines. So it's a lot faster, but you need to have closed lines for it. And in a lot of my comics I don't. So for this one I decided to be efficient and have clean, closed lines everywhere. And it goes a lot faster than coloring by hand. If I don't do that, I have another tool, which is the lasso fill, where I just do this and it colors inside. But if I use this, I have to be careful about the edges because it doesn't know where they are. Where was I? I am easily distracted, in case you couldn't tell. Oh, so you have the opposite problem of doing one complete thing. Have you tried timing your sketches? So like you give yourself maybe 5 or 10 minutes to do something, and then once you're done with that, you have to move to another one? Because that way you just do quick things, you don't have the time to finish anything. Yeah, I'm hoping to do at least the lineup. Oh. Well, it's not identical, but it doesn't need to be, so that's fine. Yeah, it can be really limiting sometimes when you have a really cool idea and you're like, oh, I wish I could finish this. But you can just come back to it later and have a lot of fun little doodles. In school, they made us do 30-second poses. We had like a model, but it was still 30 seconds, which is so quick. And I hated doing them, but it really does help. And I hated that it helped. Oh, no, there's still one. Okay, that's the base. Now, this one isn't a guideline anymore, but this one is, with its own little folder. Not, oh. Wrong one. I'm not sure about the color. For the buttons, I'm definitely gonna do white. I might do it for the collar as well, I'm not sure. One thing I could do is instead make the uniform white, and then this. Okay, yeah, that's better. It fits better with what you'd expect. Just this one. Yeah. Not as fun, but it works better. Oops. That's the base, the accent. Oh, that's the shoes actually. Gotta name the right layer. I wish there was ways to name layers automatically, but so far I haven't found it. For animation, there's definitely a lot of tools that do that for you. But the way the program names the layers automatically is good enough for me. So I usually don't rename any of them. I just name the folders. Okay, that one was easy. Nope, I did not change. The sweater. Do I leave it like this or do I pick something more vibrant? I guess it works like that. And I need to not forget the button. It's the kind of detail that I always forget until the last second, when it's already exported, ready, finished, and I'm like, did I color this little part? No, I did not. Whatever. Yeah, I have everything ready, so it's pretty easy to color quickly. But if I have no clean lines, it takes me ages to color. Okay, this one. You'll see for the turn, if you stick around, it's going to be a lot less efficient. Oh, I missed a part. Ooh, I could give it a little color in here. It's gonna be pink because I love pink. We can never have enough pink in our life. Okay, I like that. It's not the best color. Okay, better. That looks clean. Whoops. Okay, that seems like a reasonable set of outfit for one person. She's gonna probably be in the casual and school ones most of the time. What I'm going to do is separate it like this instead, because I don't need the references quite as much. And for this, going to make it a little smaller. I'm gonna do a 5 pose probably. When I do turnarounds, I tend to do a front one, a side one, a back, just make this coherent. And I hate doing the 3/4 here and here. So I usually avoid them until the last second. That is such a clean little sketch. You can so tell what's going on. But yeah, those two I hate doing so much. Because this one I have as a reference. This one is just mirrored, so it's easy. The side one, I'm not great at drawing side poses, but it's not the worst. But the 3/4, oh my god, the 3/4. I don't know why it's always so difficult to me when I draw so many characters like from this point of view, like all the time. Oh, that's not great. Like, I draw so many characters like this. So why do I struggle so much with the 3/4 view? I don't know. gonna put this one here, flip it even though there's not really any point. My brush needs to be smaller, I think. Yeah, that's better. Oops. I'll probably have to clean this again later, but I'm gonna do it. Rasterize. That's not in the middle. That is. Okay, perfect. Okay, front and back. Good. Now we need the middle pose. Question. If I do this, and this, and this, nope. And I lock the guide. Does it still register? It does. How do I lock that? I don't know. Let's ask the internet. How do I even Google that? Pen guidelines, pen pressure, that is not what I want. Oh, it might be in these options actually. No. No. Do I have other options for this? I think it's gotta be... Oops. It's gotta be a layer thing rather than a pen thing. The internet says window, subtool detail. Oh, a new panel that I don't have. Correction. Able to snap. Okay, it's just named enable snapping instead. That's fine. does it not? Can I not pin this? That's annoying. Of course. Perfect. And I need to do it for okay. Well, that was a lot of trouble for not much. I like using these guidelines better than ones I would draw, but it's really annoying when the... Why does it not want to select it? This is locked. It's really annoying when the pen snaps to them instead. Okay. Rather than to nothing, or just like let me draw. In Clip Studio, it's annoying to draw straight lines without, like, you can use shift to draw straight lines, which is fine, but you need to select the start and end point, and I don't like doing that. I would much rather do it with like this kind of guideline. And in Photoshop you have an option to just put your pen down at a point, click shift and go in a direction, and it draws the line. You don't have to like select the end point, which I like better, but Clip Studio doesn't have that. So I find using these kinds of guidelines to be better, even if they take a while to position. I always put too little of them, and I'm like, oh, actually it would be better if I had another one for this specific thing, or this specific thing. And I come back and put like a million more. Okay, that seems good. I'm gonna lock this. This is my middle layer, which I should be naming side, but whatever. I'm gonna save, just to be sure. And now comes the complicated part. This is, yeah, okay. I usually draw them almost on top of the main pose, just so it's easier, because like, this is, I'm not gonna do it with this brush, I'm gonna struggle too much. Good point, I did not disable snapping as a whole, just for specific tools. Okay. It's a good thing to know how to do though, because I always use it. That's the top of her eyes. That's layer 1 of hair, and that's layer 2. When we did the short film in school, I was not the one doing the turnarounds, and I was very glad for that, because our characters had really, I'm not going to say complex designs because they didn't, but they had a lot of detail, and it's not my favorite thing to draw. I also always got used to drawing the arms on the side, like next to the pose, so it's easier to reference, because if you have, say, like a belt loop here and you draw the arm on top, you don't see it on the reference, and then you're lost because you don't know where the belt loop goes, and it's annoying to keep consistent. And like, that's very useful, but it's so annoying to draw the arm on this side. I also almost never do the other side pose, because all my designs are very symmetrical. It's just much easier to keep track of everything. But in school I had to do it, and I did not like it. Whoops. Click the wrong key once again. That's fine. I want to get back into learning Blender. I've been saying that for ages, but I really do. The only problem with that is I have a 60% keyboard, which is a small keyboard. And for Blender, you really need the numbers key, like the numpad. And I don't have that. And I know I'm gonna need it. So I need to get back out my my big keyboard. It's like the cheap keyboard you can get anywhere. But it's ugly, first of all, which is very important. And it's also really noisy. Really, really, really noisy. And I do a lot of typing, a lot of writing. And it's very annoying when there's someone else in the room. To have the loud-ass keyboard just constantly. Another ray of sunshine. It's the third one today. I'm being blessed by whatever thing decides on the weather. Oh, I missed your last message. Sorry. Thank you. I have a lot of training. But I'm still learning. Still trying. And yes, it's taking me a while. It's a difficult pose. I need to be very careful about it. For the arm, we're gonna do perspective 101. Who cares? I don't know if I do turns for the outfits as well or not. I don't think they really need more than a front and back pose, because they're pretty simple. It's always better to have all of them as turns, but I don't think it's really worth the time it would take me, considering it's a really short comic. It's like 6 pages in scroll version, so it would be more if it was physical pages, but okay, that's not bad. Now we're gonna do it clean. Yeah, rendering takes so much power. but we never really... I was taught a little bit in school, and we mostly used it to like model things and then take screenshots to draw on top of it. So it was never really a big problem to have a powerful computer for that. And the only animation we did was in Maya, which I hated. And for that they had like rooms with computers just for the 3D program. So it was more powerful computers. But there was still like, my school had a program for 3D art and a separate program for 3D animation. And they had like a room specially for them, but sometimes we went and they had like sticky notes on the computer saying, don't touch, don't do anything, it's rendering a really important scene, don't touch it. And I was like, yes, that's nice, but I have class in here actually. 3D animation is not for me. 2D I love, amazing, so much fun. 3D animation I find to be very tedious and not in a good way. And the key poses in 3D I can do. It's fun, it's pretty cool, I like it. But then you get to the part where you have to do the curves. And the more I change the curves, the uglier it looks. It's my personal curse. It is too close to math. It's just not for me. I did a little bit in school because we had to, but I was in the 2D program and it was much, much more fun. For the power, I have a pretty powerful PC. That cost me the equivalent of a small organ. But I can do a lot of things with it, so I don't think it would struggle too much. I would just not have any fun. Unless I have some sort of like sudden illumination, like, oh my god, suddenly 3D is fun. Which is sad because people make insane things in 3D. I've seen so much cool movies and short films and everything, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. But it would kill my soul to make it myself. Honestly, if you find it fun, all the power to you. I admire you. I wish that was me. A long time. Everything takes forever. When we did the short film for school, we were a group of 8 people and we worked for 8 months. And we also had a musician, so 9 technically. And it took us 8 months to do 5 minutes, which is not very long. It's 5 really good minutes, but still. Yes, that's so good. Have you done animation before? Ooh, that's exciting. I'm so excited when people want to learn animation because it's so fun and you can make such cool things without that much skill. And I'm like, oh yes, join me. Whoops. Do you have a favorite in terms of style references or in terms of anime? I'm taking all recommendations. I always needs more things to watch. Oh, I forgot to do her hands. It's fine. Okay, side pose. Good enough. That's the back. Yes. Actually, I can have a symmetry for that one, which I should not forget. Oh, does the no snapping means it doesn't register? Oh, that's stupid. Whatever. Yeah, older anime tends to have a lot of more flat colors, because when it was painted, it would take a long time to do like gradients and things. So in modern anime with software you can do a lot more things, which is very fun, but it's also a lot of time and skill needed to copy it. But shit, what do I do with this one? Does this one still have it? Yes, okay, sorry. For recent anime, I think there's a lot of really cool ones in terms of like line style, like the lines and the way they draw the faces and things. But it can go overboard with the rendering. I watched about a third of Gundam, the show, the original show from like the 70s. And a lot of it is very economic in terms of like camera movement, character movements, all of that. And it was still really fun and it looked really good. Some of the style I want to take for myself. I have some friends who draw in a more anime manga art style for their comics, and it looks amazing. I'm always like, oh, you're so talented. But it takes so long. And I already draw kind of slow for some things, so I can't do that to myself. I can't add even more length to what I do. Oh, that's amazing. That's the best feeling. When you're like, oh, this is exactly how I want to draw. Yeah, I could. But I would have to do it on the side of drawing my comic. So gotta really think about that time investment. I said this year was going to be the year of anime because I'm gonna watch more of them. But I mean, I could also make it the style of anime style. Oh my god! Hi G! Why? Oh, I was gonna say why are you awake, but no, it's a reasonable time for you to be awake. And yes, you did hear painstaking manga. I might learn. I might not. Nobody knows what I'm gonna do any given time, not even me. I saw you finished yours, but I didn't read it yet. It's in my endless pile of things to do. And that's not a good thing, that it hurts. Is this the right layer? Yes, it is. Okay, it's not supremely consistent, but it works. That's not the one I wanted. That's the base one. Okay. The colors. Okay, I have the right tool. Oh, I didn't save the color for this one. I need to keep a clean dot of color like this to be able to eyedrop it easily, which I always forget to do. I used to have palettes for my characters, like in Clip Studio there's an option to have pre-made palettes, but I think it's not very efficient to use. At least in the first version it's not the most practical thing, so I just don't use it. I'd rather have a file on the side with all my colors listed and just use that. Also, since I use pretty limited palettes, it's not like hard to remember which color is for what, so I don't really struggle with that. That's one thing I really like in Harmony, is that you can have palettes that swap automatically. So you have a palette for day and a palette for night, and if you've colored your character with the day colors and you realize it's not what you want, you can just click one button and it will swap to the night colors, which is so easy and practical. Sadly, it's Harmony, so it costs an arm and a leg. Oh, it didn't do it on the back. Okay. That's the base color for the charm. Looks pretty clean. I'm actually surprised that it didn't take me longer. Because it's 11:30, so. What I'm going to do, I think, is do one for the outfits. Just the front and back poses. Well, I have all the front ones, so that's fine, but all the back poses, I think I'm gonna do them. Line art. Oh, I need to put back the symmetry. Okay. Nope, wrong line. Actually, I'm not gonna do it like this. Does it work if I do this? Yes, it does. Wonderful. Okay, that works. Oh, the guidelines are not going to match, I think. But do I need them? Not really. We'll do it without them. I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen. Why is this in a color? Weird. Seven should be a good size. Oh, I should have written down what it was earlier. That was not my brightest moment. I usually write down the size of every brush I use, because I use the same brushes for a bunch of things, and then I forget what size they're supposed to be, and it's really annoying to try to match them when you already have something drawn and like you want to keep going. I hate doing that. So I have a page at the front of all my stuff with details on the size of everything. So like the size of every brush, every panel tool, every text tool, all that. It can take a while to make because I have to decide on everything and it can be overwhelming, but then I just don't have to think about it. I should just copy the other one for this one actually. What am I doing? I drew a pose just for this. Is it symmetrical? Yes. For simple outfits like this, 2 poses is usually enough, because if I draw them from the side, I will draw them like once, maybe twice. So I just reference the one I already have drawn and it's enough. But when I have more complex outfits, I will usually take the time to draw one more pose, like this side pose, and sometimes more. Which annoys me every time, until I get to the moment where I need to draw it from the side. I'm like, oh, actually I just have to look at my reference. It's so easy. Is one thing I often see when people tell me, oh, I'm gonna start a comic or I'm gonna do something. I'm like, oh, that's so exciting. What do you have? And they're like, oh, I have a story. And one design that's like a front facing character reference just from like the waist up. And I'm like, that's very cool, but it's not going to be enough. And you're going to hate yourself in like a month when you have to draw a million different angles to make the comic interesting, and you don't have the references for that angle. I know, because I used to do that as well, and then I'm like, oh, actually I should spend like 2-3 hours drawing the references for future me. For my current comic, I started with almost nothing because I was an idiot and impatient. So I have a page in the main file that I use where I copy and paste every angle that I draw. And it's very useful because when I don't want to draw a specific angle, I just copy it from that page. It saves me a lot of time. I do it only with the sketch. I redo the line art every time, but it's still really helpful, and it helps keep things consistent. Okay, that works. We're just gonna do colors. I have them for the front. Just need to find them in my million layers. No, that's the sketch. I only did them in here. I'm an idiot, actually. This one I can delete. This one also. And then I'm going to merge the line art. And then new folder. That doesn't have a name. I should give it a name. How can you let anyone steal your drinks and not immediately get in a fight? I would be so upset. Also, I decided to be an adult and get groceries delivered so I can like get everything at once, because I hate grocery shopping. It's the worst thing. And they have my favorite flavor of Monster Energy, which is Monarch. And I'm like, how many do I get? Because they're over €2 a can. But I will drink them. Just how many can I reasonably get as a competent adult? Yeah, but it's cold outside. It's insanely cold and dark and gray and like horrible. Okay, but why don't you keep them in your room and then put them in the fridge like an hour before you drink them and then go get it, so no one has time to steal it? We had sunshine today. We had like 3 rays of sunshine. Can you imagine? I haven't seen the sun in like 4 days. Oh, I don't. I can't drink them if they're like that. I think it's one of the main reasons I didn't like ice cream when I was a kid. I just would never eat it ever, because it was just too cold and it was uncomfortable to eat. So I just told everyone I didn't like ice cream. Any flavor, anything. And people just were very shocked that a kid wouldn't like ice cream. Oopsie. For events, like when my parents invited people over for Christmas and things, they would do ice cream for dessert. And because I didn't like it, I could get something else. And that was very exciting. think that's not the same reason for shock. I don't know why parents always expect you to like enjoy going out and doing things. Like, thank you, the inside is very nice actually. Oh my god, why am I so confused about colors? Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't have AC here, so usually when it's really hot outside, it's also really hot inside. So it doesn't change much. But it's still nicer to be inside. In the shade. Okay, I need to start naming this because I'm getting super lost. Oh, I could do the bottom. Yes, actually, inside. This is this one, this one. Love my little pink details for everything. Everywhere I can add pink, I will. That's a little big. Okay, it's just missing the socks. Front is done, now the back. Hi, welcome. How are you doing? It's been like a million years since we talked. The shirt is this one. Oh, whatever. It's the reference, it won't matter. All right. That's one outfit done. It didn't take too long. However, now I have a mess of layers. I need this one as a reference and this one not. I'm not checking the chat and everything on YouTube because it's not very practical for me, but you can watch it wherever it's most practical for you. I decided to be so smart and set it up on both platforms at the same time, which took all my brain powers, to be honest. Does it? Oh, I thought it didn't have the layer. Oh, well, thank you for joining. I hope I'm not distracting you too much from the studying, but I probably am. Does it keep? Yes, it keeps the symmetry. Perfect. Was one of them not at full transparency? Probably. Oh, no, it's just... Okay. What if... Okay, and then put it in here like this. Okay, perfect. And then this one for the outfit. And we have the symmetry. Okay, good. Which one is it? Not this one. Oh, well, that's good. I still hope you're being serious and focused and an incredibly good student, which I know you are, but it's been kind of annoying at the beginning of the year, actually, because for like half of January I had a small infection, which is something I get every year. It's not a big deal, like it's not a big problem. It just takes a while to get rid of. So for like 10 to 12 days, my brain was just not on. I had like 2 hours of focus each day, and the rest of the day I was just like staring at the wall thinking, oh, I would love to do things, but I cannot focus on anything for longer than 10 minutes. So it's kind of annoying, but other than that, it's been okay. Except for the fact that we don't have any fucking sunshine most days. Ooh, that's not what I wanted. I keep forgetting I have the symmetry because I'm so used to not using it. I'm like, oh, I need to flip my canvas and draw the other side, but it's already there. Good enough. For the other characters, I'm definitely not going to do as much. She has like 3 friends that are consistently coming back throughout the pages. For them, I'm probably gonna do like a front pose and maybe an outfit variation, probably not. Depending on how many panels they're in, I'll decide. And since I have all the storyboards already made, I don't really need to bother with things I won't use. So if I know someone only shows up in a panel from the waist up, I'm not gonna design them like jeans and things. Okay. That's number 2. Oopsie. This, and then the color. Actually, let's stay on this one for the base. I think there's also like 2 or 3 panels where I have to draw her as a kid. But I don't know if I need a full design for that or not. I hope not. I'm not very good at drawing children, so I usually avoid it. I have Mila in one comic, in More Than One Lifetime, but she's been mostly in the extras, and even then. So I usually just don't. There are no children where my characters live. Degrees, oh my god. 2 degrees. I mean, it's been like that here, but I just don't have to go outside most days, so I'm fine. But you have, and oh. It's life telling you studying good, not studying bad. No other option. Oh, I forgot the lines. It's fine. We will do without. The shoes in order. I'm trying to keep the layer order the same so it's easier when I rename everything later. I'm not gonna do it on stream because it will take me an age. To change this one. Okay. Outfit number 2. Number 1, number 2. They're not. Whatever. For this one. Wait, doesn't the symmetry? Oh, because it's not in the middle. Okay, sure. Why not? Why isn't it in the right place, actually? Wrong tool. Is it in the middle this time? It's not. It's gonna be annoying to find. Good enough. See, I erased one of the lines I need to keep. Good point. I need to merge the layers first and move them second. Is it properly aligned? I think so. Okay, that's good. And for this one I need a guideline. Which should be easier to find. Okay. It feels so different to be inking with a brush that's like, that has no pressure sensitivity to, well, it has a sensitivity, but like not for the opacity, because I'm so used to working with the one for the Ghost Hunting Club where I have to press a certain amount just to be sure it looks dark enough. So I'm trying to be careful to keep my lines light. I say that and immediately fail and make something super dark. Ooh, I could give her pockets at the back. Yes. I love these kinds of pockets, they look so nice, but you can't put anything in them, because as soon as you sit down, it's crushed or bent. Because yes, you can actually bend your phone when it's in your back pocket. Like if she has a phone here and she sits down, the pressure will bend the phone like this, which I would hate to happen to me, so I never put my phone in my back pocket. I'm also kind of scared of getting it stolen, which has never happened to me before, but I am not a very lucky person, so I would rather not tempt fate. It happened to one of my friends at the train station, and she had her music connected through wired earphones, and she said suddenly her music stopped, and it was because someone had just taken her phone from her pocket. I would be very mad. I would be very, very mad. But also, what are you gonna do? Like, it's too late. Okay. That's easy. Simple designs for the shoes so that I don't spend 15 minutes on the sketch every time. I've been pretty bad at this for the Ghost Hunting Club, actually. I gave Billy, for the current chapter, I gave her, well no, the previous chapter that just came out, I gave her like sneakers. And they look very cool, but I regretted it every time I had to draw them. I need to do more studies of shoes because it's something I always struggle with. And it should not be that hard. Nope, wrong thing. I wonder if I'll do an expression sheet for her. I might need to. I don't really enjoy doing them, and I think it's one of the references I use the least. But it's still good to make one, just to be sure I know how I want to draw her. Even if I don't use it as a reference all that much, it's still like useful research to have. Alright, that's 3 outfits out of 4, but I've been here for 3 hours and it's lunchtime, so I think I'm gonna stop here for today. I think I've been pretty productive. I've done a bunch of research, and my favorite thing I've done is definitely this one. I think she looks pretty cool. Tomorrow I'm streaming at 9 AM again, and I'm going to be doing comic pages. I haven't decided yet if I'm doing my current comic or an extra for another one, but whatever happens, I will be doing pages. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time. I know I certainly did, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye bye, have a good day.